Right, welcome everyone to qualifying for Spain, Catalonia. Just can't believe they're taking this off the calendar, really. Just such a great Grand Prix circuit. And a relatively new one as well. My god, it's going to be almost 40 years old. 1992. Like, I think this is one of the best Grand Prix circuits. It's made to handle modern, aerodynamic Formula 1 cars. It's not a street circuit. It doesn't need to be a street circuit. Welcome Vlatka, welcome Frozen North, good to see you both. Hopefully everything is working. Challenging track for the drivers. Very challenging track, I think, for the race as well, to manage the tyres. I mean, obviously you can't have every circuit in the world, but I really do not understand why we need to lose Catalonia, but I suspect it's, as we said last time, Spanish politics. Welcome everyone, Eric. Good to see you as well. Update the old like counter. There we go. You got S2000 in GT7, very nice. Waiting for it to pop up in the used car dealership. So yeah, 23 minutes to go or so. See that post there, that's the old layout, the old corner. That was actually more of a hairpin. More of a braking zone, you can see. Whereas now I think it's been opened up a little bit. It's like a sweeping corner. Completely ignored the hypercars. What to... Yeah, see, when people say, oh, it's not realistic, you can say, well, hang on. I'm literally driving my real car in the game. As I do. And it's weird how... I mean, I've driven my car in Gran Turismo at tracks that I've also driven in real life in my car. And I'm faster in Gran Turismo, but that's because I'm absolutely leaning on the tyres and braking as late as possible, because if I brake too late I can just dial it back, I can reset. But other than that, it's pretty realistic. No chicane now at the end. Not, you know what, I'm not sure. So when I'm driving Catalonia, I always hated the chicane, because in Sims it's always a track limit annoyance. But for F1 drivers, I mean, I think what you really want for F1 drivers is you want to make it difficult, because otherwise, basically now, I mean, 7 and 8 are always difficult, 100%. So 7 and 8 are difficult. 9 is just commitment. You don't want to run too wide and damage the car. 10's not that difficult now. 11's not difficult. 12's not difficult. 13's not difficult. 14's not difficult. I guess 14 is a bit about track limit on exit as well, but by having a big chicane there, it did break all that up. It was an opportunity to challenge drivers, and some drivers would make mistakes. It's your favourite car in the game now. Yeah, unfortunately you can't go to see. You can go to Sebring in real life. go to Daytona. Do MX5s at Daytona. Also, this whole slow zone, fast zone, I don't think fans care. Let me know in the chat if you care about slow zones, fast zones. I mean, DRS was pretty simple to understand. I mean, there's a thing to say that even if it's not the best absolute solution, for example like DRS, sometimes if it's the simplest for fans to understand, that means it's better than what might be a better technical solution. Hour from Daytona and 3 hours from Sebring. To be fair, driving Sebring in real life sounds really fun. I bet Sebring's actually more fun to drive in real life than in sim, because in sim, it's, I don't know, it feels really flat in sim, so it's kind of, the visibility's not good, but that's never a problem in real life. In real life, we never like, oh, this is too flat. It's that monster curb there on the inside of 13. As a track drops in. Nibble a bit of that. Very nice curve. And that's a chicane. The thing is about removing the chicane is that when F1 cars couldn't follow, it maybe made more sense, but now F1 cars clearly can follow. I wonder if the chicane just would have been a good equaliser and would have had cars closer down the home straight. Our LinkedIn adverts are so depressing. This company's like Workspace. "20 minutes to go." Let me know if you've got any predictions in the chat for qualifying. I feel like Russell's going to take it. I mean, he has to get on top of things at some point. How will the Astons do here as well? That's going to be interesting. And the Alpines. Welcome, Christopher Lauren. Happy Kireth. Happy Saturday. Nice to see you. My prediction is Kimi will surprise again, similar to how he surprised last weekend. After Max had some blistering laps to Q2, Q3. I can't see Red Bull doing well here because it seems that Red Bull actually weirdly have a good engine, but a terrible chassis. There's even Kimi doing adverts now. Mercedes road cars. New electric GLC. So they're using Kimi to sell fully electric cars. So you can see how all the discussions about 50-50, you know, losing electrification is just complete non-starters, I think. Welcome TNS Res Racer, welcome Yolanda Vestig as well. Hello, and food afternoon. What's the food afternoon? Been watching any of the World Cup? You know what, I didn't even know that. This is so weird because if you told me like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I would have known everything about the World Cup. But I didn't even know it started on Thursday. I kind of assumed it would start on a Saturday, so I didn't know. No, oh, a few matches have happened. I haven't seen any highlights, haven't seen any footage. Honestly, I feel like over my lifetime I've been overexposed to... I used to play football a lot, So if I was playing, it'd be different. Because I happen not to be playing now, because I'm doing a lot of sim racing. On the watching side, it's just... I mean, I have Sky as well. I could watch it. Actually, not on Sky. I could watch anyway. I could watch football all through the year. Basically. But it's just too much. I think football's too much. I mean, even Formula 1, I get to the point where I'm like, sometimes like, this is just too much. When it's like 3 back-to-back, it's too much for me, really. But then you can see like one every 2 weeks. That's quite a nice balance. But with football, it's just in the season, there's just always football. It's non-stop. And to be honest, when I do watch football, it's not as fun to watch now as it used to be. I think the game is has been over-analysed and like is overly like broken down into specific ways of playing. Whereas I liked it before when it was a bit more instinctive, let's say. As all this data comes into sport, and probably has come into sport over the last, again, like 10, 15 years, Formula 1's always been a very data-heavy sport, so it doesn't really change Formula 1. But these other sports, Christopher, I agree. My favourite era was the Man City Aguero era. Felt so raw. Smart, what's your thoughts on the World Cup? Well, I don't really have any thoughts on the World Cup. I mean, I don't even know whether I don't know when England are playing, which is kind of insane. But I don't really watch TV, so the main thing I think I know what the difference is. So I didn't really watch 2022 as well. 2022 was the last World Cup, right? I didn't really watch 2022. 2022 was like near the end of COVID. It was in winter. So it wasn't like the normal summer thing. And I think 2022 for me, like, because it was in winter, actually, it kind of lost me. As weird to say, like, for the rest of my life previously, it's a summer every 2 years. There's some sort of tournament on. It's like a kind of like a vibe or a cadence. So the fact they did it in the winter, just like, it lost me. 2018, I remember seeing loads of games. But this is all before COVID. Everyone lives a bit differently. But yeah, this year, and also now with the YouTube stuff, if I'm going to watch the World Cup, I'm not going to get any videos out. So, it's the same like when new big games come out. If I'm going to play the new Call of Duty or whatever, I'm not going to get any videos done. So, yeah, I think there's some general reasons that might apply to a few people. It's like, there's so much football on, it's over-analysed. That's not really why I used to watch football. I didn't used to watch football when I was like 8 years old to see like carefully choreographed strategic. I watched it to see the best players do instinctive stuff in unusual situations. That's like a general thing. And then for me personally, like, yeah, I could watch the whole World Cup and basically say it to everyone, sorry, no streams or YouTube videos. Yeah, I think football's an interesting one because we've seen in England, like, cricket used to be really popular. Like, if anyone's watching who's not in England, this won't make any sense, but like cricket was like... England cricket was as popular as England football, I would say. The players were as well known. It was as big an event. I think England are playing cricket right now, internationally in England, and the fact I don't even know is because that sport just got absolutely destroyed. And I just wonder if there's what happens with like football fatigue. England's first game is against Croatia. See, I didn't even know it's against Croatia. It's really weird. But I've watched enough football in my lifetime. I've had season tickets and gone every weekend to the stadium to watch football. So it's not like I've never was into it. It's like maybe I've had my fill of football. Yeah, Le Mans about to start as well. So maybe someone could check in on Le Mans and see what's going on there at the same time. Chris, I totally get it. I've been on Destiny 2 all week and only watched the US game. I thought Destiny 2 is ending or something.
Keep trying.
Yolanda doesn't see football as football anymore. The way I would put it is that it felt like football before was there'd be 90 minutes of football during which it would really be two halves of football and it would be kind of breathtaking, and if it was a really good match, you know, it would kind of fly by and then it'd be half time. And then there'd be like a little bit of analysis like at half time just to cover the break, you know, and a little bit of analysis at the end, that'd be that. And then you could talk about it with your mates and it was all very subjective. Now it feels like there's more analysis than actually they play football. And to me that feels like American football, and I have no interest in American football. Like, American football, I guess, is the apex of highly choreographed strategic plays that are just played out in like a turn-based fashion. I mean, I went to see Arsenal this year. I went to see Arsenal at the Emirates in the Premier League. In the season they won the title, and it just, honestly, the football was not that interesting. Kid I grew up plays cricket for England, very nice. Welcome, Self-End dudes. Anyone get neck problems doing sim racing? I do have a seating positioning video. You've maybe think about where your screen is, maybe. You want to be relaxed when you're racing for sure. The ball even contains a chip. Yeah, I've been in the stadiums when there's been VR. I was in the stadiums when VR was introduced, and no communication with the fans, just a sign that says VAR. I think some football is in a stage where they're trying to extract as much as possible from the fan base. And I think Formula 1 is doing similar stuff. Formula 1 is trying to extract as much revenue when you look at like Paddock Club and you know, not being on free-to-air TV. It feels like it's in some sort of like extraction phase rather than, hey, we want to grow the sport. But football never needed to do that because football was so popular. The only place it hadn't really conquered was America, and I think there's an obsession with business executives like, we've got to conquer America because there's so much market there, and in doing that they're fundamentally changing the way the sport is, I think. Right, 7 minutes to go anyway. We're not here for the football. There might be football on. Where should we pop this? Qualifying is up next, everyone. They ruined the NBA. I think American sports, like, you know, I've been to America and I've watched sports. It kind of works like that because I think Americans really need that sense of supporting a team or a franchise like that, and it kind of makes sense. Whereas I think in Europe it's very different when it comes to supporting teams. For example, I think in America it's important to visibly show your support, whereas you can have very staunch supporters in Europe who wouldn't even have one piece of kit or something. I don't think either of those is right or wrong. But it does go back to what I was saying earlier about I've watched the Formula 1 at Barcelona and I've watched MotoGP at Barcelona, and I feel like MotoGP, the fans are just way more relaxed. It's more of a social event, whereas Formula 1 is more of like a, I don't know how to put it, like I've got to go and wear the shirt and I've got to take a photo of the car and I don't know. Again, I'm not sure either it's right or wrong. Right, 7 minutes to go till the start of qualifying. How are the Aston Martins going to do? And how are we going to be on tyres? Prior should be Sport 1, number 2 fans. I mean, we've seen it in England, we've seen it because we've seen so many clubs get bought, whether it's by Americans or like the Middle East, stuff like that. But as someone who also does stuff in motorsport, motorsport needs to be sustainable, and therefore it needs people to pay, whether that's sponsors or fans, to pay for the sport. And ultimately, what I really want is the sports to be well run. So generally, Formula One on a high level is very well run in terms of how it goes around the world and puts on these events like clockwork. Sometimes stuff goes wrong, like in Monaco with the timing sensor, or making calls too late about like not doing the Middle East races. But generally, there's a lot of very competent people. It's very impressive how this circus travels the world. Sneak says Alfonso P1. Black says our game's on the 17th. I'll pay attention when it's the semi-finals or something. I also, in England, it's fair to say, I don't feel any sense of like, let's support England, which I've felt in probably every previous World Cup. Maybe 2022 was the one again where I didn't, but every previous World Cup, there's been a big sense of like, England's going, we've got to support England. But here, it's, that might be me getting older. It's just, I'm finding it quite interesting that someone who's played a lot of football and watched a lot of football and spent a lot of money, I guess, over time on season tickets and things, how football has no leverage over me. And I wonder whether Formula One or stuff like that will get to that point as well at some point. It's getting excessive in some sports. No one can afford the NBA games. I spent $400 per ticket. You say no one, obviously people can. That's the thing. Which is what we're seeing in Formula One as well. You could say like, oh, no one can afford a paddock club pass, whatever. People do, which I think is just ridiculous in most circumstances. Who do you think will win Le Mans? You know what? I'm going to go BMW. I just don't know what's up with BMW this season. But I've spent some time with Vincent Voss, who runs the team, and I can see that coming together. Right, 3 minutes to go, everyone. Let's do a little nations chat. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. Where you're tuning in from today. And are you splitting it with Le Mans? I think Formula One's under pressure. Like, it's interesting. Let's say there's a World Cup match kicking off now. Let's say qualifying's kicking off. Let's say Le Mans starting. Le Mans is a big event. And if WEC can really sort it out and get a really good calendar going, they've got, and then keep manufacturers on board. They can't do what they did and lose Porsche. That really set WEC back massively, in my opinion. Like, genuinely. I would be much more interested in Le Mans if there were like 4963s in there. Yolanda from Netherlands, Vlaka, Croatia, Philip, South Africa, Cellphone from California, Frozen from Minneapolis. Vlaka, here we're brainwashed when it comes to football, the most important thing. Yep, but there's lots of cultural like benefits to, I think, having groups of people that maybe otherwise wouldn't, to have something in common like that. Tim from Sweden, Borton from Australia, welcome, welcome, welcome. Rap's going for Cadillac. You go Earl Bamber and Jack Aitken. Sebastian Bourdais. Got some good drivers there. Will Stevens. Norman Nato. I've interviewed most of those drivers. But we never published a Norman Nato interview. Welcome, Xavier. So qualifying is going to be underway very quickly. I think there might have been a car that was making its way to the end of the pit lane, if I saw correctly. WC needs to get rid of the 2-car mandate. Well, that killed Lamborghini. But then why Lamborghini thought they could half do it, I don't know. What Lamborghini really achieved with the hypercar, I don't really know. It's a very nice car. But you know what would be interesting is if Formula 1 allowed teams to run just one car. That would be super interesting. I don't think that killed Porsche. I think Porsche wouldn't have an issue. Well, Porsche lost $1 billion last year, didn't they? So Porsche got bigger problems. But Porsche are going to be running 4 factory Formula E cars. See you, the Zoe. Right, cars out on circuit. Q1 is underway, everyone. Let's go. Let's go for Q1. So this is the first part of qualifying. We're going to see who can basically not be in the bottom 6. Is probably the best way of putting it. Yeah, no, I think with Porsche, you need to run in WEC. You can't just enter for Le Mans. And I understand what WEC is saying, because otherwise you'd have, you want to have a full calendar of cars entering. But the whole BOP situation and everything, and for whatever reason, I'm sure what's his name? Who's the guy at Porsche? Thomas Laudenbach, who I've interviewed and asked about hypercars and Formula E and all this kind of stuff, where it fits in. I'm sure Thomas Laudenbach, who heads up Porsche Motorsport, will have gone to WEC and Formula E and said, look, I need to withdraw from one of you. So we are underway, everyone. Valtteri Bottas, I think, is going to be the first driver to set a lap after he beached it in FP3 on the exit of turn 10 because his brakes didn't work, which is suboptimal, I'd say. Generally, you want your brakes to work. So we'll see what Bottas does. I think it was George Russell who finished FP3 on top, or Lando was up there as well. Kimi wasn't, interestingly. But, the Cadillacs are going to be way, way, way off the pace. Massively off the pace here. But here's Valtteri Bottas. 1 minute 19.1. I think we were seeing 1 minute 15s earlier, so that is well off the pace. I mean, given that they've got the Ferrari engine in that, there is something badly wrong with that car. Well, I hope that must be an absolute dog, that car. Ocon on Behrman go around very close to each other. And Carlos Sainz pips him in the Williams. 20 BMW leads. There we go. Is that the Magnussen BMW? I mean, it would be cool for BMW. They were in there early with the hypercars. They've supported GT3s, GTs as well for a long time. So René Rast. Alfonso goes P6. Slower than Valtteri Bottas, interestingly. So interesting how close the top 4 are. And that's all we have on track at the moment with 30 minutes to go. If you're wondering why people aren't on track, I reckon it's because it's so hot. If you look, 51-degree track temp, that tyres are burning up, and I think the drivers want to save as many tyres as possible for the race tomorrow. So it says Aston are terrible. Yeah, I mean, that's almost a 1 minute 20 for Stroll around Catalonia. Can't be doing that. It's beginning to get to a stage where it's a bit embarrassing. Right, so I think everyone will box here. Try and refresh this chat. There we go, I think. Or that, maybe we'll update. Maybe it's loading in or something. Okay, so now we've got some faster cars coming out the pits for sure. Leclerc, Gasly, who did get that podium. Is anyone watching not aware that Pierre Gasly has just been awarded P3 for Monaco? Race result. So we're going to have Hülkenberg, Verstappen, Gasly, Colapinto, Leclerc, Hadjar. Not sure what the Perez... Oh, Perez is in that as well. Antonelli's coming out. I think Lando might be as well. Cellphone, do you think if Lewis and Hamilton and Kimi would have switched cars, that Kimi would have still beaten Lewis Hamilton? Oh, I'm trying to understand what you're saying there. It's very difficult to answer that question. I think the Mercedes is faster than the Ferrari, it seems. But the reason I'm asking is it's starting to look really fishy at 5 wins in a row by one car company. Well, to be honest, the most usual thing in Formula 1 is that a particular car dominates. Right, here comes Hülkenberg then going to start his lap. Now we're going to start to see some more representative times coming down on the leaderboards. Verstappen over the line as well to start his lap. Imagine if it's a double BMW win, by the way. It's Norris and Piastri there as well. It's taken such a long time for the queue that in that time I think Lance Stroll has been able to change tyres and basically come out again at the back of the queue. So what's Hülkenberg been saying? 22.4 set to 1, Verstappen 22 dead, Gasly 22.2. Hülkenberg goes purple so far in sector 2. 4 tenths slower than Verstappen though. Verstappen's going to be provisionally fastest. But let's see what happens with Hülkenberg going around the last corner and setting a 1 minute 16.9. But keep an eye on Verstappen now as Hamilton ahead of him is starting his fast lap. Verstappen with a 16.3. We did see quite a few 16.2s in FP3. Gasly 17 dead. What's Colapinto going to be saying here as well? Colapinto goes over the line 117.2. Start thinking about the cut-off a little bit. And Leclerc goes fastest 15.9, which is quick. I reckon we're going to see low 15s though. maybe even a 14 in final part of qualifying. Hadjar 16.4. And Antonelli is also finishing a lap, actually. Goes second, 15.9. Lando will be starting his lap. George Russell finishing his lap. Russell could go fastest here, but I expect Russell to go fastest. Let's see. So Russell, 15.7. Russell's my tip, actually, for pole out of FP3. Spaceman Alfonso Q3. I think you called it in Monaco. You called it in Monaco, the race result. Going to be very difficult here, though, for Alfonso. Hamilton, meanwhile, went fastest. Missed that. Hamilton went fastest. 15.6 for Lewis Hamilton. 8 minutes to go of Q1, everyone. He's not affected by the Gauti thing, is he? No. In amongst all that collateral. Black and white flag for Hamilton driving unnecessarily slowly. This is Formula 1, not Formula Slow. It's Albon starting. Albon's going to be finishing a lap here. Ooh. Not good by Albon. Lando 16.2. It's a problem for Albon, that. Don't know what was going on. And Piastri as well will be the last driver to set lap time. 1 minute 16.1. Anything I think under 16.2 is fairly handy, but it's going to in Q3 it's going to go well below that. Xavier could see loads of purple on Lewis's lap there. Lewis lighting it up then. 15.6 in the Ferrari. Not sure why there's a yellow flag out, but there is. And again, Hamilton's got a little bit of a train here. And I just wonder, it's surely not the case that he's held up Alfonso and Stroll. Surely not. Surely he hasn't held them up. And both Astons pit. So something strange has gone on with the Astons there, I think. Still green at Le Mans, very nice. Is rain predicted? Shows you this is a strong, that shows how strong chassis are when it comes to aero performance. Yeah, I agree. I really think this track should not be off the calendar. Did Albon lock up into turn 1? Yeah, big lock up from Albon turn 1. Massive flat spot. Oh, and then he's cut the exit. You know on turn 1, turn 2 on the inside they got this exit path you're meant to take. Well, I think Albon might have been in trouble previously, in previous years not using. Well, he didn't use it there. It is qualifying, but I wonder if he'll get investigated. Welcome F1 and Diane as well. Oh, Lance Stroll went off where Bottas went off earlier. Around 10-11. Some gravel in the cockpit. When you go over the gravel track like that, you get gravel everywhere. I wonder what happens. Do they have to scoop it all out, or do you just end up driving a bit rattly for the rest of the sessional race? So interestingly, no cars out on track at the moment. However, I expect a mad dash in a minute or so. Maybe even earlier. And the bottom 6 drivers at the moment, we have both Cadillacs. We've got Esteban Ocon from Haas. We've got Alex Albon from Williams. We've got both Aston Martins. Xavier had a feeling after Albon's first fly he was going to go out along with the Astons and Cadillacs. It's not that much difference between Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz at the moment. And surely Alex Albon's not going to be in there, so maybe the Haas's are going to be dumped into the relegation zone. Both Haas's were escorted into the garage very quickly for a tyre change. It's worked out well how their livery works with the Toyota Gazoo Racing stuff. Can anyone name Can anyone name the 3 Formula 1 teams who are also running hypercars at Le Mans right now? I think it's 3, because I think one has dropped out. So I'm pretty sure it's 3. Anyone name the 3? No, God, my goodness, it's 4. It's 4. And yeah, I'm playing a bit fast and loose with Haas. Okay, it's 4. Can anyone name the 4 Formula 1 teams that are also running hypercars right now at Le Mans? It's all a bit comedy in the Williams garage, putting tyre blankets up and down. Lead mechanic's shaking his head on camera, which is not a good sign for camaraderie, but it just did look horrendously amateur. Like they don't really know what they're doing at Williams. So it's not Mercedes. Mercedes is not running hypercar. It is Aston. Aston are running Valkyrie. I thought Alpine have dropped out. Are Alpine dropping out of this season? Because if so, then it's more. You've also put Mercedes twice, which is a bit sneaky, but I rate it. So Rap says Ferrari. So Ferrari got the Formula 1 car and then they got the Formula 9P in Le Mans. Aston have got the Aston Martin F1 car and then they've got the Valkyrie V12 hypercar. Cadillac have got the car here and then they've got the Cadillac. Alpine. Oh, I thought Alpine might be out. Maybe Alpine's still racing this season. But then there's one more. There's actually one more Formula 1 team that's running a hypercar. So actually it's 5. And also Cadillac. Yeah, Cadillac. Yeah, Cadillac car. Actually it's 5. So the overlap is crazy. It's not... Weirdly, it's not Audi. Weirdly, it's not Audi. Audi are not running a hypercar. Which is the other Formula 1 team? You have to look at the full names of the Formula 1 team. Which is the other Formula 1 team that's running a hypercar right now at Le Mans? Peugeot's not running in Formula 1, so it can't be Peugeot. Right, 1 minute 40 to go, everyone. We're looking out for the bottom 6 drivers here. It's not Glickenhaus. Glickenhaus not in Formula 1 and they're also not running the hypercar. I did go to WEC as a guest of Glickenhaus, which was awesome. It's not Red Bull. Mercedes might have got the edge. Let's see. Welcome, Mike Schmidt. Good to see you. Toyota. It is Toyota. Toyota are running here with Haas. And also running the GR10 facelift Evo version. Right, Alex Albon goes 15th in the Williams. And now let's see Lance Stroll. Will Lance Stroll improve? The 119.9, 118.7. He's out, basically, is what that means. Meanwhile, Hulkenberg, 16 dead. Very good lap from Hulkenberg. That Audi is looking pretty promising. Ocon out of the drop zone for the moment, 17 dead. Will it be enough, though? Behrman needs to improve. He does, 16.5. Now it's going to be Alfonso, which I don't think is going to be a great lap time at all. In fact, I'm not even sure it's going to be faster than Stroll. Let's see. No, it isn't. 18.8. The Astons are out. Carlos Sainz is out of the drop zone for the moment, 16.8. Bottas is currently in the drop zone. He's staying in the drop zone. Can Sergio Perez do anything? Nope. So, I think... There we are. I think it's Esteban Ocon who is the driver who is getting knocked out. And interestingly, we didn't see the top drivers blink there at all. We didn't see any McLarens out on circuit there, or Verstappen, or Mercedes. And I think that's because tyres are such a rarity here at Catalonia. That's why. Are they running the Super Camry? Ah, they should run the Garage 56 again. Yeah, Albon's gone down there. So we've lost both Aston Martins Both Cadillacs, Alex Albon and Esteban Ocon. And Ocon's been handily beaten by Behrman there. And Albon's been beaten by Carlos Sainz. Won't be too happy about that. Do we have an Alex Albon emoji? I see lots of members in the chat, so feel free to use the Alex Albon emojis. Have a pop down there and see what we got. Just should be a sad Albon. Welcome, Bodeman. James Vowles. People saying fraud. Okay, get ready for Q2. Q2. Oh yeah, give us the Le Mans rundown as well. If you're asking me, I think let's see what's at the BMW. Didn't the BMW get taken out last year by Kubica into Mulsanne, or was that 2 years ago? So they got some unfinished business there. Obviously, I'd love the Peugeots to do well. Meanwhile, can we just take a look at Nico Hülkenberg all the way up there in P5 in Q1? Yes, it's only Q1, but it's still something. Predict the podium today. I tell you what, Hamid Khan, give me your prediction first. Let's not say podium, let's say top 3 qualifying. I think I get the American Express adverts now. It's for people who have too much money, not enough time. So they just want to pay like £1 billion to go to Wimbledon without buying tickets, etc. I think I get it. Yolanda, Hülkenberg is doing a good job. He's seeing one of those qualifying Hülkenberg runs that makes you think, is he actually World Driver Championship quality if he'd been in the right car? There's an alternate universe, by the way, where Hülkenberg is in the Mercedes instead of Hamilton, and Hülkenberg's like a 6-time world champion. Welcome, Adolf. Good to see you. Rap saying BMW, Cadillac, BMW, Alpine, Cadillac, Alpine up there. Is Mick Schumacher still driving that? George, Hamilton, Leclerc. I'm going George. I'm going Russell Pole as well. Ashford Designer Outlet. Oh my god, this thing looks massive. It looks like you could run a NASCAR race at Ashford Outlet. Kimi, Lewis, Oscar from Kevin Johnson. Put your predictions in the chat, everyone. Put your predictions in. Who are you thinking? Yeah, nice one, Rap. Failing, so lots of drivers being investigated. Let's see what happens there. Perez saying, I think we're in a good position for tomorrow. Depends how you put it, Sergio. I mean, don't think this is why Cadillac came into Formula 1, but Pradja says George Leclerc Lewis. So a bit of Ferrari fandom coming in there, dare I say. So we're waiting for Q2 to get underway, everyone. Shreyan says Max, Russell, Hamilton. Priya Bratta says George, Kimi, Leclerc. Let's do another nation check, everyone. Let us know where in the world you're watching from today. Prime time for Europe, this race. Not prime time in the strict definition, but... And the next part of qualifying will be all about who can get into the top 10. Pro Chauffeur from USA, Xavier from London, Vlatka Croatia, Wilson Malawi, Prijval India, Gesseria from France, Silva from Melbourne. Maybe watching the race next year. Philip Christensen from South Africa, Kevin Johnson from Germany, Mina the Philippines, Josh from Sydney. Okay, we got Australian there. By the way, I might be flying to Shanghai. What's the best way for me to... How do I do my sleep when I fly to Shanghai? We talked about it earlier. How do I sort out my sleep so I get there fresh? I'm not watching the World Cup, I already know. Welcome, Eduardo, also from the Philippines. Right, so these are the 16 drivers, by the way, who are going to be contesting. Only 10 will remain to get into Q3. Spaceman from Brazil. I know when I went to Brazil... Oh my, how was it going to Brazil? Is Brazil like a 13-hour flight from London? Brazil I definitely slept, but I had literally the worst seat I think I've ever had on the plane in Brazil. The seat didn't recline at all. It was a fixed seat. The ones when I arrived at Brazil. I arrived at Brazil really fresh. I think I was just so excited to go to Brazil to do motorsport stuff. So Ferraris have issues. John from Vancouver, Joseph from Malta, Eduardo hoping Ferrari wins. Is that here, Le Mans, or both? Welcome Jay Chewy to the live stream. Right, Q2's underway. Again, no one jumping out. I think tyres just at so much of a premium because the Dega's going to be so high. Still above 50-degree track temp. Peter Sauber. Sauber still around the place. Old school. Why is tyre degradation high here? So the main reason tyre degradation is high at Catalonia is primarily because of the long, high-speed corners. So you imagine turn 3, but also turn 4 and turn 9 and 13 and 14. But let's say turn 3. You are turning in and carrying so much speed through there that you're really punishing your outside tyres like massively. And then you add in the heat that you often get at Catalonia, and 51 degrees track temp at the moment. Track temp is hot, so you're absolutely punishing those tyres. Like turn 3, you don't get a corner like turn 3 anywhere at Monaco. You couldn't have a more different characteristic of track going from Monaco to Catalonia. Lime says, come on Lewis, Ferrari has a chance. Lewis, Hamilton pole, no not yet. Silver, long flights, I try and sleep on the plane following the times that I'm travelling to. I'm really bad about downloading stuff for the plane. I'm really bad. I'll often be on the tarmac like, I should have downloaded a movie. And I'll be on the plane with no internet. Like, I have nothing. I've got nothing. And I sort of refuse to watch on the in-flight thing, so I'll kind of see what movies other people are watching, and I end up watching like 4 movies at the same time with no sound. Jay, we met briefly at DreamHack. I was in the Red Bull hoodie. We chatted quickly before I had to run. Great to see you there. Very nice. DreamHack was awesome. DreamHack was awesome, although given how big the F1 sim racing was at DreamHack, I am astonished about how poorly that has been marketed or like put out there for the rest of the races. Like, it's crazy. I think there's a direct, yeah, there's a few direct flights from London Shanghai, either on the Chinese airlines or not. Right, cars out on circuit now. We've got Gasly, we've got Colapinto, we've got Hulkenberg, we've got Sainz, we've got Verstappen, we've got Lawson, we've got Hadjar coming out the pits. So we took a nice now flight from London to Perth, was fine. That's almost so long that it sounds like it's almost better. Oh, I did get some really good headphones though when I went to Vegas last time. Noise cancelling. It's just like, oh my god, it's just, I can hear myself think. Then they ran out of battery, obviously. I was like, no. I find the best way is to make sure you stay awake until after dinner when you get there, no matter how tired you are. We were talking about going to Vegas earlier. How you do it. Okay, Gasly is going to be going around to start his lap. Initially I went to see from friends, it was on the day I saw sim racing side, should have gone more promo. Yeah, I mean F1 sim racing just doesn't make sense on so many levels. Although I saw Rensport esports on over the last couple of days, like 40 people watching. When they're paying for commentators and graphics and oh my days. Someone explained to me how that makes sense. And then weirdly, when it was the Esports World Cup, there were thousands of people watching. In the numbers, not chatting. McLaren's waiting. Yep. Low-key hoping Charles doesn't fumble again. Absolutely scenes if Charles gets pole here. So for the Spanish fans, Fernando Alonso last. Dead last. Nice. Not what they would have wanted, I suspect. Unfortunately, but that's the car Aston Martin have provided. So, Gasly's on the move. 22.7 first sector, but Hülkenberg going 4/10 quicker. Is this the start of an Audi ascension? Welcome to K. Is this a start of Audi now becoming a front-running team in Formula 1? And if so, what a massive difference between Audi and Cadillac. But you know what, given how difficult Formula 1 made it for Cadillac to join, I find it a bit weird. It's like, Formula 1 really did not want like another team to join. Maybe they should have made it easy for another team to join. Right, Gasly 17.6, that ain't going to cut it, that's very slow. Kireth into 17.3, that's also not going to cut it. Hülkenberg, let's see what Hülkenberg does. Will be quicker, 6.9. And Russell is going to start his lap. So we need to keep an eye on the likes of... Well, let's see what Sainz does. But really it's Verstappen. Let's see what Verstappen does over the line. 15? 15.4. So we're getting close to the 14s. Piastri's going to start. Lindblad's going to finish. 15.8 from Lindblad, quite tidy. Behrman's going to start. Lawson will be finishing a lap. See what Lawson does. 16.1. Was the lap time deleted there? I think Hülkenberg's lap time was deleted there. Track limits at turn 9. Ah, okay. Running wide on the exit at turn 9. Do you think Alfonso will be here next year? Yeah, apparently there's rumours other teams want to pick him up. What happened to Gasly? Well, just not a very quick lap, I'd say. Have I ordered the Thrustmaster 499? I haven't ordered it. Didn't it go on sale like now? I'm not going to pay 800 €. If I'm going to pay 800 euros for a wheel, I think I can get an Asher at McLaren like for that price. So I suspect they're gonna. By the way, some of the coverage of that wheel is just pure advertisement. Like, I don't think there's anywhere I can see like an objective review of this wheel, which kind of annoys me. But I think they're probably going to do a production run, just less expensive materials. So I'll wait for that. 399 for a plastic version. It's par for the course Thrustmaster. Toyota pitting at Le Mans. Okay, well, who's pitting here? Lindblad comes in, Lawson comes in. So in amongst that, Russell did go. We saw Russell and Leclerc, Anthony Hamilton all in the low 15s, with Russell just pipping Leclerc and Hamilton that time around. Hadjar 15.7 as well. So who's in the drop zone? Bortoletto, Colapinto, Behrman, Gasly, Sainz, Hülkenberg. To be honest, I can't really see Sainz and Behrman getting through. I might be wrong. And let's see how the Alpines go. So we might be looking at a couple of places here. Depends if Hülkenberg can do some beast laps again. Pradchval, what happened to the McLarens? Just not good laps. Everyone on the soft tyres, by the way. Cadillac going on to BMW. So everyone's going to box here. Now someone is on the move already, I think. Is that Hulk? No, it's no. So let's see what happens here again. I don't think we're going to see that many runs because of looking after tyres. So there might be no activity here for 2 minutes, basically. As everyone waits in the pits for a couple of minutes. Wow, did Hamilton need to overtake the Mercedes on his flying lap? I think so. I mean, obviously you've got to do that, and that's in lap Hamilton was coming in. I mean, Mercedes versus Hamilton. That sounds like some sort of lawsuit. Mercedes versus Ferrari, I think, is a great battle. It's a great battle. So let's see if that happens. And also, I feel like there's a really interesting dynamic with the drivers, with Leclerc and Hamilton and Russell and Antonelli. There's a lot of really cool dynamics there. Yeah, Lando is complaining about rear locking. Not very happy with the car, let's put it like that. And Charles Leclerc's having a good look under the front of the car. So what was Lando up to? Oh, the McLaren, it's absolutely terrible out of 10. Just looks so bad. How would we all want a non-Mercedes win so bad? I mean, I think it will happen for sure this season. Oh, it's hot already here. It's going to be hot tomorrow for sure. We are so back. Well, let's just wait and see. Right, Piastri is first to lead the pits, and Lando, they don't want to risk it here. Because I would say they are at risk. Last one wrap. Nico will win the season. Nico Hulkenberg is gonna get a win or win the season. I mean, Nico Hulkenberg winning, that would be an incredible race. Shame about his lap time getting deleted. 16.9. Actually, wouldn't have made too much difference. He would have been there with Bortoletto in the end. So we'll have to go quicker than that anyway. So that's actually kind of almost as irrelevant as it can be, I would say. So Piastri, Lando, Carlos Sainz, who's out on a scrub set. Lindblad, Lawson, Hulkenberg, Behrman. If you're Russell, do you go out again? I'm not sure you do. What's the cutoff likely to be here? I mean, at best, I can see the cutoff being a 15.7, but I don't think it's going to get any lower than that. I think if you're Russell, you're definitely safe. So if tyres are marginal, I mean, if it means you have a final clean set for your last run. $22 dead for Piastri first sector. Okay, right. So with 2 minutes to go, by the way, we're not going to see any of the Ferraris or any of the Mercedes, and also the Red Bulls. So Hadjar, this is quite interesting, quite bold. Hadjar saying, no, I'm not going to go out. So I said that the cutoff might be 15.7. But let's see. Let's see what happens here. Got a lot of things to go on Saturday and Sunday packed. Yes, indeed. Thanks, Rap. Right, so Lindblad and Lawson starting. Right, Piastri's going to finish his lap. Let's see what happens. 15.5 for Piastri, so he's just ahead of Hadjar. Hadjar's going to get uncomfortably... Hadjar's going to explode if he gets knocked out here as Lando goes P4, so Hadjar's already down to 8th. And we know Nico Hulkenberg can get in and around there. What about Carlos Sainz? No improvement for improvement lap time, but no better position for Sainz. Bortoleto starts his lap. Gasly will start his lap. Would need to be quite a few cars doing good laps here, but it's going to feel a bit awkward if you're Isaac Hadjar right now. 22 dead first sector for Lawson. See what Lawson's up to. 22 ones for most other drivers. Right, let's see. Lawson goes over the line. Will he be better than Hadjar? Oh my goodness, he is. He's pipped Hadjar 15.5. Hadjar down to 9th now. What's Hulkenberg saying? Oh, just behind Hadjar, 50.7. Lindblad, meanwhile, is out. So Lindblad is not making it through. Yeah, Hulkenberg, black and white flag. You've got to be careful. Behrman. Will Behrman go top 10? No, goes P12 for Behrman. And Bortoleto. What's Bortoleto saying? P12. So I think Hadjar's going to be safe. It's just the Alpines now. It's just the Alpines. Gasly, no, 13th. And I don't think Colapinto is going to be too much better. So actually, Red Bull played it perfectly there. Nothing to worry about for Hadjar. Nice one, Silver. Okay, so our bottom 6 drivers from Q2 are Lindblad, Bortoleto, Colapinto, Gasly, Behrman and Sainz. That means all credit to Lawson and Hulkenberg. Who are you bringing on World Cup? Who am I bringing? Silver can't tell me he'll be faster than me race every week. Yeah, but that's why you just got to take him out. I mean, racing's racing. Doesn't matter about any existing tyres. First corner, up the inside, apex first, run them wide on the exit, put them in the gravel. I teach them racing lessons. I didn't win all this by being nice. There's no trophy here that says nicest driver. They weren't giving that one out. Okay, so we've lost those 6 drivers. It's going to be a top 10 shootout. And Nico Hulkenberg is going to be a part of it. Not very good from Williams at all. Big problems, dare I say, at Williams. Dare I say, big problems at Williams. Back down to earth for Gasly. Wow, Flavio's just absolutely ancient now. I think I've got to support England World Cup, given that we're in England. World Cup fever has not hit me yet. Okay, so that was Q2 done. And next is going to be final part of qualifying Q3, where again I'd expect to see 2 runs maximum. Be very interesting if one team decides to just do 1 flying lap. We'll see. Or maybe if you're Liam Lawson, maybe or Hulkenberg, you don't do any laps. I'm not sure. Could be an option. But yeah, let's remind ourselves of predictions. So I went for Russell. I didn't actually do a podium, but I went Russell to win it. The question is, can Leclerc get this done? Can Hamilton get it done? I'm going to go Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc. Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc. Let me know your podium in the comments. I'm going to go Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc. And I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it. McLarens. The fall from grace from the McLarens needs to be studied, because it was thought this season they'd be in prime position. Having the Mercedes engine and also the best car for the last 2 years seems like a perfect match, but turns out it is not. Okay, waiting for Q3. It will be almost 5 o'clock in Spain, so maybe the track temp will start coming down a little bit, actually. Russell Lewis Kimi. I'm gonna. Well, I think Leclerc will be on the top 3, but people are writing off Kimi a little bit here. Maybe it's funny how we're still not talking about Kimi that much, because he is still such a young driver. So he's almost easier to forget, but maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Spaceman going Lewis, Kimi, Charles. I mean, if Hamilton gets pole here, that'd be absolutely sensational. Could come down to a mistake. Xavier, I think Leclerc might get pole, then Russell, Anthony Hamilton. Okay, let's see. Let's see if the Ferraris have got what it takes. Welcome, Rajesh. We've Verstappen. No, I don't think Verstappen's going to be anywhere here, but I could be wrong. I barely mentioned Verstappen. Thanks for Lacka. 65 likes at the moment. Almost ready to go in Q3. No worries, Juanadella Calais. Welcome on board. So that's our top 10. It'll be 13 minutes. I wouldn't expect people to rush out of the pits for this, interestingly. I would not expect that. I feel like Lawson and Hulkenberg have 3 hits here. Like, they've done very well to make it into Q3. So maybe that takes the pressure off. David says Leclerc and Verstappen are aggressive qualifiers. Yes, they are indeed. Verstappen's looking focused. Imagine what it's like being a Formula 1 driver and on the track going head to head with Verstappen. He's kind of a bit more vulnerable now because the Red Bull's not as quick, but he's still Max Verstappen. Maybe the same as all of them racing Lewis Hamilton. Right, session is underway, and as I predicted, drivers are not rushing out right now. Tyres at a premium, etc. Prajval, is the gap between Ferraris and Mercedes Field enough so they can fight with each other? I'm not even sure how close I'll be to Mercedes, but let's see on race pace anyway. Tyre degradation should be massive here. Who's going to be the first to make a move out the pits? Like I said, if you're sponsoring the Audi, you'd quite fancy them to be out. Welcome, Ben Belezzi. McLaren still staying put in the box. Ryan says, "Who do you think will win?" I think I'm going to go George here. I'm going to go George. At some point, George is going to go on a run. Oh, movement in the pits. I think Verstappen might have led it. Guys, he didn't get pole from Monaco. He got his P3 from Monaco. So Verstappen leads the drivers out of the pit lane. Everyone will be on soft tyre. If anyone's going to be on scrub tyres, it'll be interesting. We need a new subscriber goal for the race. Oh yeah, definitely definitely 140k. Try and go for that. Maybe I'll try and set it up in a thing. You can see the one below lags just a little bit, although it's not too far behind. So exactly 100 behind, Ridley. So Lawson and Hulkenberg are participating. So anyone remember a few years ago when there was like massive rain around Catalonia? Welcome, Sammy. What did I miss? Well, you're here for Q3, so we're about to see what the audio is going to be for qualifying tomorrow. So all the drivers are being released. And Verstappen starts his first flying lap of Q3. Now, some people in chat say maybe Verstappen can get this done. I'm not sure, but there's one driver who can drag that Red Bull round to pole. It would be Verstappen. No offence, Isaac. Mr. P4 from Monaco. Russell and Antonelli on a completely different sync here. Wow, some fast first sectors. 21.9 for Piastri. 21.9 for Verstappen. 21.9 for Lando as well. It'd be funny if Kimi becomes the world champion before Leclerc. Yeah, but I mean, Charles has also been a Mercedes driver for a long, Ferrari driver for a long time, which has something in of itself. He's won Monza for Ferrari. He's won Monaco for Ferrari. He's won his own Grand Prix. So, but what have you done here, Charles? Charles, what have you done here? Charles Leclerc, what have you done here? Charles Leclerc, what have you done here? Red flag, by the way. Red flag, and the timer stops. Charles Leclerc has one Monza for Ferrari, one Monaco for Ferrari, but at Catalonia, he has not done something properly here. So we need to work out what's happened. Charles Leclerc, what have you done? It's going to mess with people's tyres. Interesting, Piastri just got a lap time in. Oh, I wonder. There's a red flag. Oh, Charles Leclerc, what have you done? Why is there no front wing on your car? Charles, is it the Brembos? Has he Bremboed it? Yolanda saying he's crashed. Front wing. Oh, Lenovo's been absolutely destroyed. How have you done that? Has he hit turn 4 too hard and got wheeling the gravel on the outside or something? Ooh. He's out. I tell you what, the car shouldn't be behaving like that, I'd say. That car is like... I mean, that is not a particularly difficult corner in Formula 1 with the downforce they have. And he's turning in and the rear is just like coming round, like it's insane. He corrects it. Goes straight in the barrier. Welcome, Martin Harmson. Yeah, Leclerc is out, but I would say that is very weird. But that's 2 races in a row. I know this won't... He's still gonna... Will he start P10 in the race worst? Green flag already, by the way. They've recovered that car. Well, the track is clear. Not onto green flag yet. We are now officially out of the "we are so back" phase, yeah. Yeah, I think no issue with Russell. But for me, a very interesting crash from Leclerc, because look, turn 4 in a Formula 1 car is just, it's all about the downforce there. And his car was moving around a lot. You just think Lando was doing a good time lap? Yeah, interesting. Piastri, that 15.1 is a very quick time. And how was he able to get that in? When did the red flag come down? So I would say it's a very unusual crash from Charles Leclerc. In the same way that Monaco looked. So it's where I'm standing there, it's just before there. Let me try and show you where he's gone off. This is exactly where he's gone off, by the way. Here. Right behind me there is where he's crashed. And that corner is just all about the downforce. But he's wobbled, and he's gone off into that barrier on the left-hand side. He's gone straight into it. You know, I thought maybe he'd taken a line here and dipped a wheel and then gone around backwards, but it wasn't like that at all. It was all in the normal part of the track, but the car was just moving around so much. Why does it always happen to Charles? Just Ferrari things. So he's gone straight off on the left-hand side there. He's hit the barrier quite hard. It's not, as you can see, it's not a big run to that barrier. There we go. Exactly there. See where the Red Bull is? Where the Ferraris have gone straight into the barrier on the right-hand side. Taken off all the advertising. It's like I predicted this. Working as yet. So... yeah, not good. Not good to say the least. So I wonder what this means for stints now. Are they actually going to... is everyone going to go out straight away and still get a stint in? Or are they screwed now? Is it just going to be one stint at the end? What do we think? Maybe it's just going to be one at the end. Now Lando has to do it. Yeah, and also if some drivers who've running out of tyres now. But that's why I wonder if they're just going to do one lap, some of them. There's a tyre barrier there, as you can see behind there, it's tyres, so no barrier repair needed. Disaster for Charles Leclerc. Right, his car's almost been recovered. So he turned into 4, hit the apex, and after the apex, the car's just moving. He's just turning in like this, and then suddenly the car's moving all around. He's having to counter steer and do all this stuff in a corner that just isn't going to work. Because then, as he counter steers, he ends up hitting the gravel and goes into the barrier. So that corner should just be on the wheel like that. But Charles was like this. Through the corner. Suboptimal. How were people looking on sectors? Hamilton had a good first sector. Update at Le Mans. What's going on at Le Mans? Don't tell me the 499p's crashed as well. Don't tell me. May as well put the video here. Session will resume in a couple of minutes. The Toyota doing the race. Is all pit stops now out of sync or something? Right, Kimi, even though I think there's still 4 minutes to go, did I just see Kimi driving to the end of the pit lane? So basically, a lot of these teams are going to want to get in a lap and then come in and then do their final lap. So they still want to keep to their existing program. Whether that's possible or not, I'm not sure. Yeah, something wasn't right with that Ferrari. In my opinion, something was not right with the Ferrari in that corner. It's restarting in 3 minutes. I mean, there's one point through turn 4 where Charles Leclerc's hand is like that. Like to the left. Like he should be like that. And there's one point where his hand is like all the way over there. The Alpine's in third. Interesting. Maybe you got a power boost like Piastri at Melbourne. Ah, and the formation and the way to the grid. I don't think so. Unless there's an aero issue, like he's in the wrong aero mode. So I think lots of cars are queuing in the pit lane, not hanging around. I don't even think his rear's lit up. It's just like that car should be absolutely planted through there. Should be planted, and the fact that it's moving around so much, to me, something is not right. Also, I do miss Hamilton with Bono. What a great team that was. Bono, my tyres. All that needed to be said was Bono, my tyres. It meant like 1,000 words. Right, 1 minute to go till the restart. And Piastri was the only driver able to put in a lap. Hamilton's left the pits, joining the back of the queue. It's obviously not the biggest queue, being Q3, only 9 drivers. I personally find it incredible how the cars can sit there for like 3 minutes without everything overheating. Like, normally there's absolutely no need for them to be idling somewhere for 3 minutes. So they should not be designed for that at all. Very nice. By the way, my sim racing newsletter coming out later today. Free as always. Hit that link if you want to sign up to it so you don't miss it. Okay, so Antonelli, Hadjar, Russell, Hamilton, and then a big gap. So maybe these are the only drivers that are going to try and do this double lap strategy. Maybe the others have thought, no, too risky, it's not going to work. That's very interesting, because Mercedes have not split strategies here, whereas Ferrari and Red Bull have split the strategies, or maybe they asked their driver, said, look, do you want to go and do an accelerate program? This may be one of these things that's a bit self-fulfilling, because if all 9 drivers had queued here, we'd still have a driver coming out the back who is not going to work for. But given actually only 4 have, there could have been another driver who would have got out and done 2 laps. But you didn't know at that time. It was some sort of like mad game theory. Right, Anthony starts his lap. Let's see what we're looking at when it comes to Sector 1 times. Under 7 minutes to go. So the other drivers will be coming out around 3 minutes 30 or something. For their final lap, Antonelli Sector 1, what have you done? 22 point dead is not quick enough. It's not quick enough. That's 10th off Piastri, interestingly. Hadjar 20.1. Maybe there's been some track evolution and not in a good way. There you can see one of the barriers. It's exactly like that Charles has crashed into. Yeah, that 15.1 by Piastri is no slouch. Russell 21.9, that's a bit more like it. Hamilton 22.1, that ain't going to cut it at all. That's not going to cut it. Right, is Anthony going to go faster? I think Anthony might go P2. Oh, he may do. It's going to be close. No, P3 for Antonelli. Really bad last sector for Antonelli. Must have been a mistake in the last sector. Meanwhile, Hadjar goes P4. That's not a good lap time from Kimi. We'll come around now and then go in the pits and go out again. George Russell. Will Russell go fastest? Yes, he does. Oh, my prediction. Why everyone... Because there was a red flag, so some of them are just going to go out for the last lap at the end. But Russell, 15.1, and Hamilton, really bad lap from Hamilton, is looking like a disaster for Ferrari now, you have to say. Right, those drivers are going to rush back to the pits and get some new tyres on and go again. Meanwhile, the other drivers are just going to come out and do their lap. So, yeah, great news for Russell here. Advantage Russell massively. See, by the time Hamilton comes in, it's going to be a little bit awkward to get him out again. We'll be near the back of the queue, dare I say. Welcome, Dr. Henry Gonzalez Riviera. The doctor in the house. Welcome, welcome. Doctor on board. Okay, so Anthony comes in. It's going to be tight for Hamilton. Because I'd expect in about 30 seconds to see cars in the pit lane starting to leave. So let's see. Ferrari will be gutted, they're not in the mix there. Well, let's see, there'll be another lap for Hamilton. Obviously Leclerc won't be setting a lap. Let's put it like that. Okay, so Russell and Hamilton come back to their pit boxes. It goes to 3 minutes 28. Start to expect to see some movement from some of the drivers there, which will obviously cascade everything. Ooh, I'll tell you what, did Mercedes do a pit stop? Have Mercedes done a pit stop here? I think Mercedes done a pit stop. Look at that. Mercedes have pulled a blinder here. They haven't pulled the cars into the pits. They've done an actual race pit stop. And that means Kimi's front of the train again. Yes, and it would have been a double stack as well. Interesting. Is this qualifying or is this the race? Or is it a blend of the two? Black and white flag for Russell driving slowly. Ooh. Penalty for Russell, anyone? Okay, so now everyone else is coming out the track. Remember, it's a 1 minute 15 lap. And the drivers need to start the lap time then with that to spare. Rajval saying Ferrari Masterclass soon. I'm not sure. It looks like Mercedes on a Masterclass there. Look at that. Mercedes have come in last and come out first. How have they done that? Okay, all 9 drivers are now out on circuit. 2 minutes to go, everyone. We're going to see how this shakes down. Are we ready? Are we ready? So Anthony starts the lap again. It's definitely disrupted, though. It's definitely disrupted everything. And now Russell goes around again. And also, Anthony's probably going to hit traffic. Say Anthony's going to hit Hamilton traffic. And Hamilton's got to get past Kimi traffic. But let's see. Last minute shootout, yes indeed. You can put your prediction back in if you want. Who do you think is going to get pole here? Actually, maybe Kimi's not going to hit traffic. Kimi first sector 21.8, that's more like it. Russell 21.8 as well. So Kimi's unlocked something there. Is someone going to make a mistake pushing it so hard? The purple middle sector as well, 30.2. But Russell may beat that. I think Russell is probably going to pip Antonelli at this rate, but let us see. I'd expect Antonelli to go fastest here momentarily. Let's see. Kimi is at 14. It's a 14.9. As I thought we might do. We've just dipped into the 14s. And now George Russell, ball is in your court. Surely you're going to go faster than that, and significantly so. 3/10 quicker. That is a statement. Meanwhile, Lando Norris goes third with a 15 dead. Look how close it is between Lando and Kimi, by the way. Extremely close. Nico Hulkenberg. What that first sector's about. 16.6. And Liam Lawson also won't be anywhere up there. 16.5. Okay, so now Oscar Piastri. What can you say you've done? Is it going to be a P3? Nope, stays P4. Another 15 dead. And Verstappen, fastest first sector out of anyone, but can only go P4. It's a very slow last sector. Very slow last sector. So I don't know if there's been an issue there. Hadjar goes P5. Look at this from Red Bull. Splitting the McLarens. And Hamilton, fastest middle sector out of anyone, goes P2 for Hamilton, and is pretty close between Russell and Hamilton there. So there we have it. Yeah, Lewis was quick middle sector. Wow. Well, I predicted Russell, Antonelli, Hamilton, I think. And it's actually Russell, Hamilton, Antonelli. And I wonder whether Kimi made a mistake there. Lando P4, then you got the Red Bulls, then you got Piastri. There's basically 1/10 between Antonelli in third and Piastri in P7, so very, very, very close. But Lewis Hamilton starts on the front row of the grid, which, given the way their turbo works, might mean that he is the de facto leader of the race coming out of turn 2 into turn 3, let's say. This could be fantastic for Lewis Hamilton. Fantastic. And we'll never know how fast Charles would have been here because Charles crashed out. Hell yeah, Pradval says. Let me know what you make of that in the chat, by the way. Lewis Hamilton coming in P2 out of nowhere, I'd say. Significantly faster than Verstappen, significantly faster than Hadjar. Faster than McLaren as well. So close for Lewis, yes indeed. Yes indeed. That's why you just can't write off Lewis Hamilton. You can't write him off. Still we rise. I tell you what, if that Ferrari gets a bit faster, we might actually be talking about a Lewis Hamilton. He's P2 in the championship. Tell you what, Lewis, you'd be mad to drop Lewis. You'd be mad to drop Lewis. I think he could be very, very proud of himself. Also, George Russell will be bouncing because he's destroyed Kimi here. So George Russell's going to be a very happy bunny as well. Yeah, T1's going to be fun. Do you remember George Russell's overtake a couple of seasons ago? It's one of the best overtakes of the season into turn 1 and turn 2. Don't know if anyone remembers that. It was absolutely insane. Russell versus Lewis and Norris versus Kimi going to be sick. Yeah, it's going to be sick. So I will be here tomorrow for the race. No worries, Josh. I'll be here tomorrow. I've just scheduled the stream for tomorrow, so it will automatically take you there when I end this stream. So please do just hit the like button there, pop something in the chat, trying to help the stream out for tomorrow. We're 93 likes. Let's try and get to like 500 tomorrow. So let's have a really, really good big stream. And see what happens in the race when it's going to be all about tyre degradation. So I cannot really predict the race. But Kimi's going to be on a charge. Verstappen might be trying to revenge something from last year. And what about Leclerc as well? Let's see. Right, thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you tomorrow for